my name is Lizzie. Each week I'm bringing along a different origami fold, and that's to encourage you to take some time out for yourself, and hopefully when you're folding you forget about everything else, just get absorbed with the most simple of materials we may take for granted, but actually you'll discover the possibilities are endless and rather exciting. So these films are all dedicated to my colleagues at UCLH, a hospital where I work. Encouraging staff to give time for self-care is very important for resilience, and caring for others you really need to look after yourself as well. These films are also for patients, but for absolutely anybody in this time. I realise we're all kind of working remote, we're all in isolation, we're missing our family, our friends. So I'm hoping that these origami films will help you and give you some connection, some gentle time together. Would love to see what you make. So this week I thought I'd share with you how to fold your very own, kind of like a DNA double helix. So the beautiful shape, which is inspired by the molecule that encodes us, that encodes life, twisted sort of ladder that I'm sure you've heard of, DNA. And it is a beautiful shape. And it is a physical shape, and actually your DNA encodes you. It encodes proteins, which are like sort of strings, like beads, and it's the way that they fold up that make the shape, and therefore what they do. So actually everything is about folding. I'm originally a biologist, so I get very excited about how things work and about science and art, so this is perfect together. So actually this film is linked to some resources I've been creating for the Royal College of Pathologists about viruses and vaccines. I guess trying to make sense of this time, to learn about the virus that's been affecting us so profoundly, and then to also get creative and have a little bit of fun. So I've done things like sort of drawing the virus, how vaccines work. There's origami in there as well, and this is linked to making your own virus. Obviously it's not really, but the idea of these lovely spikes, lovely, I don't know, but this is what's called a modular star. So it's a beautiful structure in its own right, and that's something that you can make. But if I gave this to you, you wouldn't be able to make more. The only way that you could make a virus yourself is if you were given the instructions. So that's like it's DNA or RNA, which is very similar. So I've been showing how you can fold up the instructions to make this into what looks like a DNA helix. It's basically a beautiful piece of folding. So I'm going to be showing you this, and I'm actually going to be showing you just from normal paper, and I hope you'll just enjoy it. It's a lovely shape. It's a shape that represents life, so a helix, and it's quite a fun, relaxing thing to do. So I'm going to show you just from a normal piece of paper, so grab yourself a piece of paper. And it's also been National Science Week, so this is all about celebrating science and art. Both are creative. So to make your own helix, all you need is a strip, really. I'm not going to be too exact about that. Oh, maybe about this sort of length and width. I don't know, maybe that's like 5 or 6 centimetres. Doesn't have to be exact, but I've just made sure that the edges are really nice and lined up. I am then going to do a little nick. Tear this off. This would be quite a long one. Why not? You'll certainly get the hang of it by the end. There we go. So we've got a long strip, and it will become this lovely shape. Yes, it will. Just through folding. So first of all, we're going to make effectively ladders, the rungs of a ladder. That's all we're doing. And we just need to neatly divide this up. So I'm going to start by just folding in half. Folding in half, and then I'm going to take each end and fold it in half again. So I'm just dividing up this space. I've also been interviewing, while asking questions while being creative, to people who study viruses and people who study our immune system, how we react. So that's something that you can, I will include a link in the text at the bottom of the video. Thoroughly recommend. You can have them playing in the background, ask questions while being creative. I hope that could be a nice little format. Again, dividing this up, so each one folding in half. Keep going, and it's just being nice and exact. And this time I'm very relaxed about getting it nice and exact. So again, I'm going to fold that one in half. So hopefully you'll soon get the hang of this. And you'll find also that when I'm folding one in half, this matches up with the other end. You'll see it's a really nice satisfying pattern, but it's something you have to do yourself in order to get. There we go. There's nice little rungs of a ladder. I'm going to do the same thing here. Divide that in half. And then in a moment I'm going to divide each of those in half again. And that will do, I think. There we go. This one needs dividing in half. Definitely, I think, well worth doing on a solid surface. So it's looking rather nice. Feels nice, actually. And I'm again going to divide each of these in half again. So I will, after this, be going back to more traditional things, and next week will be a really exciting one. It's going to be a chicken laying an egg. I kid you not. We're going to fold this in half, which is, yeah, should be a lot of fun. That'll be for Easter, thinking about a fun fold for them. So again, halving that. There we go, and just keep going. My little ladder, you'll be doing the same thing. Again, you find it sort of lines up each time. Yeah, I just love even the feel of this. There's a beautiful simplicity to it. Same thing again. And it's amazing that we are encoded by this beautiful shaped molecule, and it only has 4 letters, but it's the way that they combine. You can do a lot with that. And then it's little groups of 3 of those letters and coatings. It's amazing. There we go. So that's looking rather nice. So each one of these goes in. It's what's called a valley fold. That's fine. Our next fold will be going back the other direction. So this has all gone inwards like a valley. And next we're going to go outwards like a mountain. So the principle is simple. You're just going to go from one corner to the other of each rung. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to have to do this so I can see what I'm doing, because I'm definitely going to struggle otherwise. So it's being nice and exact. It's taking each one and being very exact. It's a good one for your concentration. It may be easier on the surface. So you're aiming from one corner to the other corner, and a good strong fold. So can you see I've folded from this corner to this corner of my little rung of the ladder, and I'm folding it back like that, and I'm going to do that for each one, just the same direction. That is it. So it is as simple as that, but it is about being exact. Yeah, it's probably easier on the surface. Can you see? So each time I have gone from one corner to the other. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it. And it's rather nice on a flat surface like this, because you're just doing one and then the next. Just keeping it the same way. That's the key. Seems to be going off at an angle, but that's good. That will give you the turn. It's a bit like a turn of a stairs, or yeah. And I guess it's quite a strong shape. All engineering, really. Also, and then the code is actually between those rungs of the ladder in the middle ish. So we have around close to 2 meters of DNA in every single one of our cells. Not every single cell does have DNA. Your red blood cells, for example, don't. but most cells do in your body. They're the instructions to make you. And it's around 2 meters in the tiniest of dots of a cell. And yeah, it's extraordinary. So it has to be very well organised or it would tangle. So there's little proteins that will look after it, make sure it's copied well, because if there's any mistakes, obviously that can cause problems, and that can be partly behind cancer, is when there's mutations. And so it all has to be looked after very well. It is extraordinary how even just a cell copies and yeah. For me, biology is where all my inspiration comes from. So I do lots of artwork, but it's generally about the body. That's amazing. It's what inspires me. And it's a subject that will never be fully understood. There's always more to do. And it's that kind of understanding that's led to ways to help people. Oh, isn't that lovely? So it feels very nice. So I recommend that you just enjoy. Look at the lovely way I've managed to do that. All very regular, and that was just from folding a piece of paper in half and continuing it and just being very exact. So our next step to get it into that shape is very pleasing. It's just following the lines. So this one's going back and this one will push forward. It's just gently folding it up along the lines. So I don't know how to put that into words, but it is each time just letting it fold up. So the diagonals are going backwards, the horizontal ladders are taking me forwards. It's just folding up along those lines that are naturally there. And look at this lovely shape that's developing in this circular form. So I've just enjoyed doing this as a thing, but it's lovely to think that this is quite similar looking to the molecule that makes us who we are. Not quite who we are, but it encodes us. So much of what we are is our brain interacting with the world and the experiences we have, what we see, what we do, the care from others, all these things matter. We are complex animals. Certainly not boring. That's it. I might then take my other hand away. Look at this. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it. As I said, this is all about discovering in your own hands, really. And I'm just following these lines. So I'm going backwards and forwards. I'm sort of turning each, folding it one way and then the other. But it should naturally go one particular way. So it's going forward there, and then here it's going back. It's just being consistent and just going backwards and forwards, kind of alternating. And as you do that, it will also be turning it round too. What a thing to watch. Hopefully you're having a go at this yourself. Then, as I said, we'll go back to slightly more traditional things, like a chicken laying an egg. There we go. Hey. So it really does look quite a lot like a DNA helix. It's a lovely, lovely shape and structure, and just something that you can enjoy. So it could be quite nice to hang up, maybe. So may catch the air to twizzle around. I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit of playing with paper and seeing what you can do with just folding. Thank you.